Hi everyone, Gemma here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm bringing you a quick fun fold card. This is perfect for showing off those pattern papers. It's a great sort of scrap buster or stash buster, especially if you've got loads of 8x8 pads like me. So you can use up all your sort of your pattern papers and your toppers, your ephemera. So it all folds down flat to a DL card. So you could fit this in maybe a sort of bouncy envelope where you've got a bit of room to wrap around the belly band. But equally, if you're giving this by hand, I think the belly band sort of stands as the envelope. So you've got this gorgeous topper on the front. You can see all this sort of detail with the embossing panels and the pattern paper. It slides off and it pops up like so. So you've got this sort of faux pillar DL card. And then you've got the happy birthday, all this lovely pattern paper, and then the embossed detail in the background. So apologies if you can hear any background noise. It is a little bit warm today in my craft room, so I have got the fan on, but I've got it on a low setting, so hopefully you're not picking up on that noise. So let's get into the tutorial. So I'll quickly run through the products that I'm using today. So I've got the Textures Essential Quilting Embossing Folder, the ephemera and pattern paper from My Creative Life, and this is the Watercolour Autumn. I've got some perfect colours from Creative Craft Products. I thought that matched really nicely with the pattern paper. And then I've got some Creative Craft Products Stitch Nestable dies. So any circular dies, you don't necessarily have to have a circle. You could use a square and so on. So the die sort of element of this is optional. So I'll just pop these to one side. So I have a piece of 9 1/4 by 8 1/4, and along the 9 1/4 inch side, score at 1, 2 1/2, 6 3/4, and 8 1/4. So you want to mountain, valley, valley, mountain fold this. I'm just going to fold and burnish those. And then we've got sort of our DL card base. So I've got some of the pink Perfect Colours cardstock here. This is a white core. It's really nice to sort of do some embossing and going to enhance that pattern a little more. So for example, if I show you this piece, you can see some of the colour coming through, and I like to use my glue eraser and just brush over the top of it. Anything with sort of a texture to it to just give it that element, and now you can see how that pattern is coming through. So I'll talk you through the measurements. I'm just going to enhance the pattern on these panels first. So for the main panel, you want a piece of 4 by 8. That will sit nicely in there. Then for the inner pieces, you want 2 pieces of 1 1/4 by 8. And then for the outer pieces, 3/4 of an inch by 8. So this worked out perfectly for that 8 by 8 piece of cardstock. So just divided it up and it matched sort of exactly to the size that I needed for this. So I think this card set is great for using up your pattern papers. You know, it's really quick and simple to put together, and you can sort of make a dent in your stash. So I'm just going to go ahead now and attach these panels to my card base, and then I'll come back to you. So there's my one panel now prepared. I've brought back in my scoreboard, and we're going to work on the inner section. I'm just going to set that to one side and let it dry. And I've got a piece of 9.5 by 6. Along the 9.5 inch side, score at 2, 3.5, 6 and 7.5. On this one we're going to mountain, valley, valley, mountain. Just go ahead and fold and burnish along those score lines. Then you've got this inner panel here, and I'm going to decorate it with some pattern paper. So I'll just bring in those panels next, talk you through the measurements. So for the two outer panels, you want two pieces of 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. The inner by 5 3/4, again 2 of those. And for the center panel, you want one piece of 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. So now they're all attached. I'm going to attach these two pieces together, and then it'll all fold down flat like so to fit in a DL envelope. So I'm going to add glue to the center panel. And on the edge of this outer one here. Get those in place first. So I'm just going to place this in the center, lining both edges up. Like so. And then add that center panel down. And then add some glue on this edge. It's going to take a little bit of time because of the clal glue. As long as I've got that center panel in place, I can hold the end panels. So I've just folded that flat to make sure that it can fit in the envelope. So you do want a slight overhang on both sides there, but as it folds flat, it fits within that DL sort of section, so it'll still be able to go in an envelope if you wish. So for the ephemera, from the ephemera I should say, I've got this happy birthday. I'm just going to attach that in the center. So I've attached my sentiment and a little heart there, and then I'm going to finish off with this lovely topper and the belly band. So fold that all down flat. I've got a piece of 1, I think it's 1, let me just double check. Yeah, 1 inch by 8. It's the same sort of paper that I've used there. And you sort of want to wrap it round, pinch it in place, and then go back over those score lines in your scoreboard. And then I'm just going to add a bit of quick grab glue to each side. Just going to check that that's straight, so I'm going to use my grid just to help me line that up. Like so, and then just place that down in the center. Give that a minute to grab. And then I'm going to add some more glue just to secure that topper in place. I've got with love. I think I might add some more maybe pattern paper or the embossed panel just there. I'm not too sure yet. I think it looks a bit plain. What do you think? Obviously it's not going to be displayed like that, so yeah, I think I'll leave her actually. It's nice to see that sort of pink pop against it. So as I said, it all falls down flat. You've got a little bit of bulk with it. Slides off and then it'll be displayed like so. So I've gone sort of quite simple in terms of decoration for this card. I want to sort of make it a quick fun fold card today, but this would be perfect for using up your pattern papers, as I said. Some lovely stamped images. You could have them, you know, a scene going across these panels. There's like sort of so many ways that you could go with this, and I think it's a really lovely card to make, especially if you're sort of stuck and you've got to put something together quite quickly. I think something that shows off the pattern papers. If you've enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, maybe you consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely crafty day, and I'll see you in the next one.